Coming up here on Montana this morning, an emotional Gallatin County courtroom as a man accused of trying to cover up a hit and run fatal gets his prison sentence. What he said is coming up.
Restaurants in Gallatin County are transitioning from phase 1 to phase 2. I'm Gabby Crevitt, and coming up, I'll let you know what that means for the next time you go out to eat.
Time now is 6:30. We're back on Montana this morning. Caitlin Corbett, Chet Lehman, and Matt Elwell. The sun is finally up now. It still looks a little bit damp out there. We going to see any more of that today?
Yeah, parts of the area will see some showers. I don't think the vast majority of us will experience any of what we were dealing with last night or early this morning. Temperatures right now into, it's a nice mix, 30s and 40s, nearly 50 in a few areas. Areas that are a little warmer have the cloud cover lingering, and that's what we're seeing right now. The showers are moving out for the time being, but the late afternoon does bring the potential of a few afternoon thunder showers in southern parts of Gallatin, Madison County, back into Park County. Looks like that's going to stay farther to the south. Daytime highs into the 70s today. Again, a little more wind for the afternoon. We'll break down what you can expect heading into the weekend. Includes cooler temperatures. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
I'd have taken those morning 40s in West
I
Yellowstone
was just going to say, could have used
that,
that, huh?
That was it. That was it. Anyway, 6:31, our top story this half hour. A man who was riding in a car that crashed into a 76-year-old Manhattan man and killed him learned his fate in court yesterday.
MTN's Cody Boyer was inside the courtroom.
Gallatin County District Court Judge McKellier sentenced Daniel Cifuentes, the passenger in this case, to 7 years in prison for obstruction of justice, or in other words, lying to police.
He lived on the farm where he was born, and now he was killed right in front of his farm.
Holding onto pages of letters, Bozeman Deputy Police Chief Jim Veldkamp spoke on behalf of 76-year-old Truman Emmelkamp's family. Words written on pieces of paper meant for Daniel Cifuentes.
Being on his farm was his favorite place to be.
It happened on a sunny October day on Stagecoach Trail Road in front of Truman's farm.
Not only was one person callous enough to drive away, make up a story, hide evidence, and lie to cover it up, but so was a second person.
Court documents show the accused driver, Michael Marino, is also accused of rehearsing a story. A carjacker with a gun to Marino's head stole their car. Investigators say that didn't happen. Veldkamp, fighting back his own emotions, continued to read.
This is a family that's working on forgiveness. It's a family that hopes you understand. Pain.
Judge McKellier also fought back emotions, detailing how serious a lie could be, all while Truman's family listened on.
The impact was so violent that it tore off some of Mr. Emmelkamp's clothing.
And then Cifuentes took the stand himself.
I was scared for the kids. I was scared for my life. I was scared I was going to see them again. I felt total complete guilt.
In the end, the judge sentenced Cifuentes to 7 years in prison, 3 years less than the max penalty for that charge. But the words from Vivian Emmelkamp, wife of nearly 54 years, still pointed to forgiveness and redemption.
I know where I'm going to spend eternity. Do you know where you're going to spend eternity?
In Gallatin County, Cody Boyer, MTN News.
And Moreno is expected back in court this Friday for a change of plea hearing.
In other headlines this morning, State Health Department reports 2 new confirmed coronavirus cases in Gallatin County in the past 24-hour reporting period. A woman in her 40 to 49 years old and a man 20 to 29 years of age bracket. Another new case in Bighorn County. This is a girl 10 to 19 years old. Plus, just before news time last night, word of another case in Bighorn County. One more new case in Yellowstone County, a woman in her 50s. With those 4 new cases, the state will report 520 total here in the Treasure State. 41 are active, 2 people are currently in the hospital. We're well above the 40,000 mark for tests completed.
And over the past week, 40 new cases of COVID-19 have been confirmed in Montana. Of those cases, 22 were in Bighorn County, 12 were in Yellowstone County. Yesterday, Governor Bullock addressed members of the media. The Yellowstone cluster has been linked to the Yellowstone County Jail. Both cluster cases are still under investigation, but the state has been able to link all of those cases to a source. The governor says he's not considering going back to phase 1 for the state, but noted local county officials can increase restrictions if they feel necessary. The Montana University system, meantime, is pushing ahead with preparations for students returning to campus this fall. In a newsletter, Commissioner of Higher Education Clayton Christian announced the release of a handbook that outlines protocols for dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. Guidelines include classroom management, quarantine and isolation rules, and training for residence hall advisors. Christian says the handbook is the result of weeks of research and discussion with state health officials.
Here's an update. Our Rebound Montana Relief Fund now at more than $246,000. A generous $100,000 donation from Blue Cross Blue Shield came in last week. The fund is a partnership between the Montana Television Network, AMB West Philanthropies, and the Montana Community Foundation. MTN and AMB West Philanthropies are also matching the first $150,000. Now, any size donation from a lot of us will add up. So if you can, go to KBZK or KXLF.com/relief. In other headlines, the Butte Rescue Mission getting a $20,000 grant from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints to help the homeless shelter with struggling resources as it deals with the COVID-19 crisis. Shelter officials say the money is needed to serve its many residents and to provide meals for the needy in the community.
Well, yesterday was a big day for restaurants and bars in Gallatin County. MTN's Gabby Crevitt reports on how local businesses are making the transition from Phase 1 to Phase 2.
We're looking forward to seeing old faces, new faces, all the faces come back and see us.
Elena De Diego is the new owner of one of Bozeman's staple restaurants, the Nova Cafe. Having taken over the business about a month ago, there's a lot of juggling going on, especially with COVID-19 precautionary measures in play.
It's been so step by step that it kind of eases things for us. So we're just going to open a few more tables for customers and continue with the same safety distance.
And just down the block, another go-to Bozeman restaurant is bracing itself for tourist season.
Quarantine ends today with Phase 2, and we are hoping to see an increase in business, and that would be due to tourism and people who are well coming to our area.
The biggest difference between Phase 1 and Phase 2 is capacity. We can now serve up to 75% capacity in restaurants, bars, breweries, and distilleries. And next is tabletop space, which is up from 6 people per table to 10.
As we're able to accommodate more tables, we're going to capture more guests and get more people in here dining with us.
Which is great for any business's bottom line and brings a sense of joy to staff and diners, bringing us one step closer to normal.
It's just wonderful overall to have this sense of, okay, we're back to normal, whatever normal is.
In Bozeman, Gabby Crevitt, MTN News.
6:37 now. The city of Bozeman says playgrounds have officially reopened as part of Phase 2. The Parks and Recreation Department took down the signage from all 55 public parks, allowing kids to enjoy the shared outdoor space. The city of Bozeman says it's reminding parents that social distancing is still important while playing outside, and personal hygiene is essential to keep families safe and healthy.
If there's a lot of other people using the playground, that that means that there's a lot of touching going on, and so you need to really watch it and be thinking about that and practicing really good hygiene. This is not the time to let our guard down.
The Bozeman Swim Center also opened yesterday with modified hours and usage, and the Bogart Pool has a tentative open date of June 22nd. You can see the Swim Center's modified schedule by visiting our website.
Things slowly starting to reopen here in Montana. I hope folks just take it easy.
And with summer just coming up, pools and parks probably ideal for those parents.
Popular place, that's for
sure.
sure.
Can bring the kids to get a little outdoor time, and
no question, it will be popular.
Yes, it will. Absolutely. 6:38 now. Up next on Montana This Morning. When you see protests and violence on TV and streaming, how do you talk to your kids about it? Doctors and counselors have some advice. What they're saying is coming up.
Good morning. Ahead on CBS This Morning, an updated autopsy report has ruled George Floyd's death a homicide. Hear the family's continued quest for justice and their message of peace to protesters. Also, we go behind the scenes with New York City's top uniformed police officer who explains the NYPD's response to the demonstrations. Plus, we're in George Floyd's hometown of Houston. See how the police chief there is keeping the protests under control. And we speak to a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist about the history of racism in America and its impact on what's happening across the country. All coming up when we see you at 7.